let's pivot. Let's pivot.
Yeah, that's it.
Because I could talk to you all day. Elections coming up.
Yeah.
And I'm going to put you on the spot with this one. You have an upper house ballot to vote for. Who do you vote for the Senate?
For me personally?
You personally. You've got, who do you have? You've got Jordan,
Okay, this is what I do.
Jordan Ditloff, just to give people an idea. You've got Libertarians, Jordan Ditloff.
I'm going to, can I answer it really quick for you?
Yeah, sure. I'm not voting.
What I'm going to do is wait for Joel's list to come out. I'm going to outsource my voting thinking to Joel.
Wow, that was a real. How could you argue with that?
How could you? Yeah.
Seriously, a man after my own heart.
Yeah.
That's amazing. No, I was like, oh, he's gonna to start a civil war in the state of Victoria between these freedom parties. Totally blindsided me with that.
Yeah, I thought I might.
He's doing all the hard work for you.
That's right. That's the beauty. Now I know we talked about outsourcing our thinking.
Yeah.
And being mind numb or lazy, mentally lazy.
Mm.
But you are doing a really good work that people are not picking up.
Right.
You know, they're just looking at the headlines and you're going into more depth, saying if you do it this way, then this is going to be the outcome. So you want to listen to people like yourself who goes and someone like me is just going to say, well, what I do, I mean, this is really basic. I just go, well, Senate's different, but for the House of Reps, Greens on the bottom. I could get the Greens voting paper and just turn it upside down, and I'll vote that way.
Yep.
So Greens on the bottom, Socialist Party's down the bottom, Labor will probably be somewhere in the middle, and then your Conservative Party's working down, with Liberal being lower, only because the way the way I've preferenced it would probably flow to Labor. So if I put Freedom Party first, or whoever it is, or One Nation, or trumpets of
Patriots,
then Liberal would be next, but it's because it's going to all flow to Liberal anyway.
Yeah. I saw a great graphic. I might pull this up on screen. Sorry for the sound, guys. But basically, it was it quite efficiently made that point. That step one is basically, look, you're gonna have a bunch of these freedom parties. Rami, if you could pull this up. You have a bunch of these freedom parties. You do that stage one, and then stage two, you go Liberal, National, depending on which one's running in the seat, and then stage three, Labor. I would personally go Labor, then Teal, then Green. That's personally what I would do if I was in.
Yeah, I'd probably do that.
Now the only problem with this thing, guys, and this is where I encourage you to get our actual how to vote card, not because it's like, oh, Joel's trying to dictate how I should vote. No, it's actually what it is it gives you a good template as to these are the people that are informing Joel. These are freedom-loving people in the area. They're saying, hey, this is the local knowledge. You may not have any Freedom Party running there. What are you going to do then? You're going to be like, oh, what? And then on top of that, who is the Teal Independent? It doesn't say Teal next to their name. Who are in Dan Andrews' seat, there are about half a dozen independents there with no
That's
party
probably who you were
next
thinking
to them.
about Mulgrave when you were bringing it up before.
No, there was another election. I'll find it later.
Right.
But Mulgrave, in the actual in the Victorian state election, there were 14 candidates that ran, 6 of which were independents. No party next to it. What are you going to do? Where do you put them? Would you want to risk putting a good candidate after Labor and risking them not being able to get the seat? And so that's where I do a lot of the thinking, but it follows this basically as a general thing. So we do the research, we talk to the candidates on the ground about who are these random independents often we haven't heard of. Very quickly we pick up on who the Teal independents are, they're very easy. But to the unknowing voter that doesn't have the time to do that work, you're a single mother or you're in a relationship and got 3 kids, you don't have time. That's where I'm trying to help out. It's not to do the heavy thinking for you. It's not to do the 100% of the thinking. It's to get you about 80% of there, 90% there, and then the last bit you might tweak it and say, you know what, Joel, in that seat I didn't like the One Nation so much. Maybe switch it with the Libertarians. That's up to you, but you can see freedom parties, Liberal, Labor, and then the crazy lefties. That rough outline.
I think you do a good service there, to be honest.
Thank
It's a good service that you're doing, because I look at that as well, and the work you've done it's quite immense that you're doing it across the nation.
Yeah, 8 elections in 4 years.
So you've got a lot of experience, a lot of knowledge. Your team's got a lot of knowledge yourself, And I think it's something people need to, if they're conservative, they need to look at that and go, okay, without outsourcing the thinking, like you said, you still want discernment yourself. Because you may know the candidate there that's the libertarian and go, no, I want him first, or her first, because I like that person.
Exactly.
And then I'll follow your rest.
Yeah.
But at least you've put it in order where people won't inadvertently, because if they didn't know, put a teal as number one.
No, exactly. And that's the other thing you mentioned there. It's doing the majority of the thinking, getting people there, they make that last step. But in an ideal world, you know, we have one right-wing minor party, not 6. So if you guys are getting angry at me, you guys start playing the 9 Freedom Party sort of colour game and it gets tribal. It's like, guys, I wish there weren't 9 parties. I personally wish there weren't 9 parties, but there are.
Yeah.
And that's not my fault, but it's illegal for me to put a how to vote card out without numbering all the parties. So we have to pick an order. I can't put, I actually legally can't put one for all the freedom parties. So you make up I actually can't even legally do that. I get sued by the Electoral Commission. So there has to be picked an order. It is not picked by me, contrary to popular belief. I have local teams in each state. I consult them. I send them a Excel spreadsheet. They send me back how they would vote in their area. And they also we do one for the state as well, where they also weigh in on that. And that's how we keep politics local. And that's why we pick up on things that I wouldn't know. Like, I've never been to Tasmania. How would I know about these random independents?
That's right.
And the fact is, I don't. That's why I outsource it. It's too much work for one person to do. I'm the distributor that brings it all together.